he's down. All right, fellas, so today we are talking about the Canik TTI Combat. This made a lot of waves when it first came out at SHOT Show this year, and I finally got my hands on one. You know I've liked some Canik guns. The triggers are awesome for a stock gun. That's all I can say. I mean, I dare say you cannot make a Glock have a custom trigger as good as a stock Canik trigger because it has that nice crisp break. If I'm wrong, guys, please point me in the right direction, but it's usually a Glock trigger is always a little bit more mushy. Ironically, my first Glock was the Glock 34 that Taryn Butler fixed up for me. Just got to meet him at Top Shot because he was one of our experts. The guy's a natural shooter, and this was a neat collaboration between him and Canik. So let's get into some of it. Before we continue on, guys, check out our sponsor, and that is B.O.S. Lock. B.O.S. Lock is biometric optimized safety. That's right, biometric, because it has a smart fingerprint pad and a steel hook, a hardened steel hook that will keep our slide from dropping down. So in the wrong hands, it's not going to fire. But when you pick it up and when you need it and you touch that fingerprint pad, there it is. It drops into battery and you're ready to go. So yes, we can have it completely ready with a loaded mag, and we can have it in an easily accessible area, because if you're like me and you have a lot of little kids running around, you got to make sure you keep your firearm secure and out of reach of children. In fact, that's like federal law, the Youth Handgun Safety Act. Go look it up. But when my kids grab it, see, this fingerprint is not registered, so we just get an error. But when we pick it up and we need it, there we go. Green is go, and now it's loaded and ready to go. It is USB rechargeable. It can hold up to 50 fingerprints, and it even has a Picatinny rail on the bottom so we can still put our light on it. You can use code TOPSHOT24 for 10% off and free shipping on your order when you go check it out over at bosslock.com. That's BOSlock.com. Now let's shut up and shoot. Here is our tour of the Canik TTI Combat. First, you have this aggressive TTI grip texturing and a removable aluminum competition magwell. Our slide has lightning cuts in it, and we have a dovetailed fiber optic front sight, and you have a dovetailed blacked out serrated rear sight. They do not co-witness with this optic that they sent with it. That's the Mecanik M03. We'll get to that in a second. Our barrel is nice and pretty. We have a ported barrel. We'll take this compensator off in a second because it is a quick disconnect. Well, it's a quick detach compensator. And we have this ported spiral fluted barrel. It is not threaded. There's just a notch, and you'll see that in just a second. Our magazines are pretty neat because we have TTI base plates. We have one standard capacity of 18, and then the extended holds 21. It is optics ready, of course. This is a low profile cut. I guess it's low for Canik at least, but like I said, it's high enough that we're not co-witnessing. That is an RMR footprint that we have right here. It has a very nice hard travel case which holds all the accessories, a bit bulky for my taste if I'm going to be traveling with it, but you can put all your stuff in it and it's secure enough that you can lock up. And finally, the legendary Canik TTI trigger. It's a great trigger with a great break. We're going to weigh it in just a second, but we can watch for that travel. There's hardly any travel and no mush. You have a bit of take-up, but take-up's free. Take-up is what you do once you learn your trigger weight and you're getting on target. But watch how little bit of okay, there was a little bit of travel and then a nice break, very short reset, and back again so fast that I accidentally even shot it off. So pretty stinking cool. Always have to love the triggers. We've got take up in less than 2 pounds. All right, there. Now it's all the way took up, right around 2 pounds, 6 ounces. Okay. Oh, ooh, that was good. That was right around 3.7. Let's give it one more. We over pulled just a little bit, and that made it look closer to 3.8. Wow, that's really good. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, right around 10 it broke there. So if we give it a 3.9, that's pretty good for a stock trigger. That's pretty awesome. Now, I have always been a critic of Canik's holsters, especially the ones that had the like a Serpa dangerous, right? Because you're pushing trigger finger pressure, and that means newbies especially have that trigger finger pressure going, and on the draw they can fire. Okay, that's not this at all. I was just saying, I've been really honest about the Canik holsters, and I expected to snub my nose at this as well, but I like it. Especially for competition, because I'm sure this was Taryn's thing. This is the little thumb screw adjustment. And we can loosen it all the way up, and this joker flies out. I mean, no retention at all, which for competitions, you may want. There's a stage where you're not moving and you just need a quick draw. You're gonna loosen this joker up. However, if there's a little bit of movement, you're gonna feel one little tactile click, and now we've got some tension. Not too much. You know, it's not really gonna even pull your belt up. But then we have another click, and another click, and another click. Okay, now there's just 3 clicks. But on that 3rd click, it's in there, okay? And so that's for your high active running obstacles. And then for the easy stages, you just back it off and it flies out. Okay, for a freebie holster, they got it there. Finally, we have the Mecanik M03. This is what Canik sent so I could play with it on this. RMR footprint, so that's all good to go. It's a competition window, so it's nice and large. It's 6 MOA. That's not my cup of tea. I like them really small so I can be really precise, but I get it. In competitions, that's fine. And when I'm shooting past 100 yards and stuff just to goof off, well, it doesn't matter that it's big because it's going to be holdover no matter what. But here is my complaint. Stop making these adjustable with a micro hex. This little hex tool is smaller than most anybody has in their range bag. Yes, they send you an adjustable tool, but we know how we don't lose it. We leave it at home, we leave it in the other case. It's not in a range bag. And these tiny adjustable hex for your windage and elevation, just stop it. Give us screws that we can pick up a 9mm spent brass and use the corner to go in, just like, you know, Trijicon does. So guys, what we're gonna accuracy test with is this G9 Defense ammo. We were testing it the other day with some body armor. It's pretty legit because it's a solid copper round with a super neat nose. Now they make it, this is the Woodsman, so it's supposed to have some high penetration and stupid fast too. What was it? Okay, it's a plus P round, so it's running 1100 feet per second. So yes, it might be kind of weird to test it in a competition gun, but the round holes are kind of like a wad cutter, and wad cutters, you know, cut well in paper. We're at 10 yards. Let's put a couple rounds, let's put 5 rounds in that and see how we can do. Freestanding. Okay, so I expected a little better. I've got like 3 touching and then 2 down below. Hey, let's use the rest of the mag and that'll give us a good test. All right. It's better than I thought from back there, because if you ignore this one flyer, and that was my first shot, we have like a 1-inch group. I was really hard on myself. I was thinking that was like 3. That may be 1.5 inches right there. So what we're gonna do is test out the TTI, just some fast speed drills on that plate rack. Yes, one broke. And then we brought this Canik Rival S steel. It's heftier, but we have a compensator on this. But we have a slightly larger barrel, longer barrel on the steel Rival. We'll see what it feels like. I mean, we'll see. That's why we're here. We have the same ammo. We're gonna go run normal 124, and I'll just try not to give it much of a break. We'll just go from one and to the other. Let me make sure my optic's on. It is on. All right, so we'll just go one to the other so I can really give a fair comparison. Let's shut up and shoot. Okay. Well, if it doesn't feed, there we go. Okay, I feel slightly less recoil with the steel just because of physics, and it's that much heavier. But both still very manageable. But I want to show you about that compensator, the little quick detach compensator, because it's kind of neat. Take your little tool that can change the back straps, and we can depress it. And when we go to about whatever this position is, because everything's kind of wonky on me right now, it will slide out. It just has a notch. And so there's your ported barrel. So why is it removable? Well, you have to be able to take it off to pull your barrel out. But here's where I'm like on the, sad side is we had potential for something where we could have a very nice lockup. All right, we could have this come in and lock up against, if our compensator would lock up against our slide, but it doesn't. See, it still wiggles. And so it's like, oh man, that would make your action so tight and the gun like super more accurate. I mean, it's accurate enough, but anyway, that's how it comes off. And so you can clean it, I guess is the only reason you'd want to. We could totally leave it off though and just shoot it with that ported barrel. So anyway, your choice. So now we're changing up to the G9 Defense external hollow point. This sucker, well, you can just go check out the ballistics test yourself. But I really do appreciate solid copper rounds when it comes to accuracy. So these 90 grain things, 80 grain are going 1,500 feet per second. 175 yards down range, in the dark, mind you. I'm gonna need to tone down my optic. We've got a falling LaRue target. So I've got tiny spotter here today to help me out. All right, I'm gonna start by just giving it about 4 foot over the head. Ready? Nothing? Okay, we're gonna go to the tip of the head so we get a call.
Ooh, like 1 foot below the target.
Okay, so 4 foot was too much. We're gonna go for 3 foot. I heard it! It didn't fall! All right, these light rounds might not be going, let's try again.
A foot low left.
Copy. I heard it! Just didn't fall. Oh, we didn't go into battery. Yeah. Sweet! All right, so 175 yards freestanding with the Canik TTI, just some G9 research. That's pretty cool. So you can pick these up. I've noticed them on sale a bit. So I think the map is around, well, can we talk about it on YouTube? It's around 900 bucks, plus or minus on the sale that you can get. So if you're looking for a competition ready holster gear, you even have a low recoil spring in the case and some fancy TTI coin, integrated muzzle comp and everything, but an excellent trigger. Go ahead and check it out. Thanks for watching today, guys. Okay, bye-bye.